I took the liberty of pinning your mission map up on the wall. You can use it to warp directly to any levels you've already visited.
So welcome to part 4. What Bentley says is true. You can use the hideout as a means to quick travel to any level that you want from any episode. But that's not the only new thing here.
We're all set to go to Mesa City.
So besides Murray changing positions, every time you make story progression in an episode, you get new items near the map that they have. And of course the map is replaced with one of the episode's area instead of this. So enough of dilly-dallying in this train car. Let's go to Mesa City.
It had been a while since I'd been back in the US. Next up, the notorious Muggshot, ruthless muscle of the Fiendish Five. What he lacked in brains, he definitely made up for in brawn. Turns out he wasn't always that way. He grew up as the run of the litter, a neighborhood weakling. The only friends he could turn to were usually found on the big screen. It was there that he spotted his first gangster, and he knew instantly that that's what he wanted to be. He spent the rest of his youth working real hard to get there, fueled on his dreams of great power and respect. With enough perspiration, he realized that dream. He'd become a hard-boiled, street-brawling, tough-as-nails gangster, ensuring that he'd never be picked on or pushed around again. So he's holed up in Mesa City, huh? I've always wanted to go to that thriving American boomtown.
So, welcome to Mesa City. Apparently we're starting at a canyon though. And while Mesa City, or at least Utah, might be rocky as this game shows, I'm not so sure about, deep pitfalls, but eh. And just like Raleigh, Muggshot hates visitors, so yeah, no visitors in Mesa City.
Hey, Sly, I thought you said Mesa City was going to be loud and busy. This looks more like a ghost town.
Something's happened. Where is everyone?
I don't know, but it's starting to give me the creeps. What do you say we take off?
And miss all the fun? Besides, I want to try out that new move I got from Raleigh's section of the Thievius Raccoonus.
You mean the ninja spire jump?
Yeah, do me a favor and read me the instructions again.
To landeth safely upon diminutive points, leapeth lively and presseth the triggering device with the round geometrical object emblazoned upon it.
So jump and hit the circle button to land on narrow spots.
That's a rough translation.
So yep, one of the pages we got from Raleigh was the Ninja Spire Jump. This will prove to be very beneficial, as it's essentially one really good method of traveling. In fact, this is how the later games are going to use as a common move, so it's one that worked out very well in the end. So what could be said about Muggshot? He also has a dossier. Muggshot, ruthless muscle for the Fiendish Five. Background. Born the runt of the litter, Muggshot grew up weak and bullied, but inspired by gangster movies, he transformed himself into a massive, brutal thug. This leg breaker is perfect as the Fiendish Five's enforcer. Last known location. Running some sort of operation in the thriving American boomtown of Mesa City. And as you can tell from Bentley, this is no boomtown. This is a ghost town, if anything. Basically, the only thing left here is just Muggshot's goons. I mean, he did have a sign that just said no trespassers. Or really no visitors at all. So, nobody's coming here for any sort of fun. But anyway, yeah, this is where the difficulty ramps up a little. Yeah, this is where I first die, actually. Not here, but yeah, it'll happen. And the main source of enemies you'll see here are a bunch of dogs. That includes dogs that did not survive the evolution process.
What's with those flashing lights?
The latest in high-tech security. Electronic floor sensors. Step on them and you're a goner.
Nice touch.
They're safe to walk on while flashing, but it also means they're about to switch to a different sector.
So, a new security measure, huh? Well, it's not that hard, obviously. Bentley is obviously, you can tell, the paranoid type, so take what he says with a grain of salt. But I'm sure you don't need trouble. You won't get much trouble anyway, because this game's, even though it gave me some trouble, this is still one of the easier Sly games. Because later games, they ramp up the difficulty. Oh, except for maybe the fourth game. That actually might be easier than this one. At times, anyway. Sly 4 requires some sort of artificial difficulty at times, so... yeah, I think that says a lot. Here's one of the new enemies, throws cards. And that's basically it. And here's my first death. How do you get out of here safely? I didn't show it, because I just fell. Well... luckily, I won't make you have to watch me make all the progress back. So, yeah. Here's the one dog that didn't, like I said, didn't pass evolution very well. So, yeah. That's actually a weird, common thing in this series. There's certain animals that are apparently not anthropomorphic like Sly and the rest of, like everybody else, really. And as you could, our first example is that dog. I don't know if there's some, thing involving it. My only theory is that dog just didn't go through evolution right. Think of them as the monkeys to our humans. Yeah. Otherwise, this level's pretty much still much of the same. Only now there's just a bit more effort required. Otherwise, it's not that difficult. As you can tell here, this is the thing Bentley introduced us to, but yeah. And of course, this is the hardest part, is trying to get across those hooks. Very hard indeed. And we're already at the end. But of course, this game has to go back to being this old system of putting the safe all the way back in the middle of the level. So I ignored some, but yeah. I also edited out because unlike later, the earlier levels were either I just cut back to the beginning or had a shortcut. Here I have to, edit it out because it's pretty much a long ways to go. And of course, the camera here, that's all I could say is just that it wasn't done well. Yeah, the camera in that one particular part gives too much, just makes it too...
A little bit of higher mathematics and voila! Dial in 314. Outstanding! You've uncovered Rob McCooper's patented explosive hat technique. Use the triangle button to toss your cap. Then use the triangle button again to detonate it. Better back off to a safe distance first.
Well, here's a special move that's only in this game in particular. And that's because it's not very useful. And is in fact pretty situational. As I'll demonstrate here. You press triangle, you use your current cap, walk a bit ways off, and boom. Yeah, there's an obvious problem to that. It's very slow. Yeah, I'll use it at times, but not often as I would like to. And apparently we came from that top, but we can go back through there, which is weird. Anyway, we're now in the main hub. Outside Muggshot's casino. Floating casino. Yeah. Whoops.
Well, this Muggshot certainly isn't shy. Okay, so we know he's here somewhere, but how are we supposed to find him? Mesa City is a big place.
Given that he's a bulldog, it seems only reasonable to assume that he'd choose to live in a giant fire hydrant.
That's some sound logic, Sly. Now you just need to find a way to break into the building's base.
Oh, I'm sure I'll think of something.
Of course, just like the first episode, there's still a car with 3 keys. But anyway, enough about that.
Yo, it's the boss. You know, I need a voice to admit that maybe driving everyone out of town, while necessary to set up shop, might have taken a hit out of their business. So, now I hope you mugs will be obliging to any visitors that come here to lose their money in my casino. But I got a reliable tip that a cop might be stupid around the operation. So from now on, greet any visitors you see with a hail of landed. Capiche?
So yeah, more unreliable subtitles for me, because these get very hard to understand. But as I was saying, yeah, every episode will have that sort of feature where you have to get 3 keys to progress, but of course there's more than 3 levels here, or at least you get more than 3.
Murray is in position to make a run for this key.
Okay, so what do I do?
Provide some covering fire for him with that blasting station.
Sweet.
Use the left analog stick to aim and press the square button to fire.
I'll do my best.
So yep, this is a new gameplay type. You get the mana turret.
Let's go, Sly.
You have to escort Murray. The very, very cowardly Murray. This is a very sharp contrast to what you might know of him. But yeah, just shoot him things, because otherwise he'll cowardly run from other places. Yeah, even though I might have missaid that, I don't think I'm exaggerating. He is very cowardly and scared of anything he sees. So basically, shoot any guards that come across him before they get to him. Murray also relies on the same system of Lucky Charms as Sly does, so yeah, since I don't have any, he doesn't have any. But if you do have Lucky Charms with you, he will use them. But you shouldn't have him get hit, really. These aren't very challenging. Oh, and don't shoot those, by the way. So yeah, don't shoot Murray either. You can easily do that to him, but of course it shouldn't be too hard. So yeah, these flashlight guards, one note about them is they're essentially the first enemies of, they're basically my least favorite enemies of the game. They, like pretty much every other flashlight guard, they have homing shots of some sort. But more on that later, since we just helped Murray get the treasure key. Yeah, he even has his own jingle too. Just quiet for that one time. But yeah, those flashlight guards are my least favorite guards of the whole game. Just something about them just doesn't feel right compared to every other flashlight guard or really anyone else. But flashlight guards in this game are the most threatening out of the series. Because these ones do not miss their shots, no matter how far you go. Also, here's one enemy I forgot to talk about. These ones in prison jumpsuits, apparently. I don't know why they are in there, if essentially in the equivalent of a lawless city, but yeah. They come with their own wrecking ball to smash you up. Don't jump, by the way, if they're holding it up. It'll hit you anyway. Anyway, time for the low point of the game.
Murray, what's going on down there?
Well, I drove to this hot dog stand for a quick snack, and the next thing you know, I'm getting challenged to a race by these gangster dogs.
Is there a key in it for the winner?
Yeah, 3 times around the track for a key.
It's all you, man. Drive the van with the left analog stick, and if you manage to pick up any nitro power-ups, you can get a boost by pressing the square button. Go get them!
I'm on it!
So yep, this is pretty much the low point of the game. These are the worst gimmicks of the game, are these driving ones. There's only 2 of them, but they both manage to be really annoying. This first one in particular is actually harder than the second driving one. Yeah, that says a lot. So anyway, if you want to win these, you better get those nitros, because if you don't, you're not gonna catch up at all. And the AI can smash through those nitros too. They won't use them, but they can smash it, and then you're out a free nitro, and you'll have to wait until you get to the next lap to use it again. Every single nitro counts, so you better use them. And also avoid getting too close to one of the other cars. If you ever end up getting caught in getting too close to them, then yeah, they'll slow you down. So just avoid bumping into them and just stay away from them. But otherwise, you want to get past them. Yeah, there's not much else to say. It's just really annoying. One other note is that some of the billboards here might be considered foreshadowing. But, we already encountered Raleigh, who I believe is in one of these. But that there's Panda King. You won't see him for a while. But he originally was meant to be the first world of the game, but more on that later, when we, actually encounter him. And one thing to know is that the hot dog sign there has a picture of a man on there. He's one of those people that got special credit, and you'll see his face in full detail later on, but not now. Not now.
Way to go, Murray.
So yep, that's the driving level. You can clearly tell I edited it, so yeah, I can attest to it being really annoying. Otherwise, that's it. That's pretty much it for all the gimmick levels of Muggshot's episode, so yeah. Anyway, see you for part 5. Not your usual Zero, signing off.